Well, folks, we're sticking with the EG BHOPs out of the bracket. Here is EG with a narrow victory over Team 1. Now have to face off against BHOP Esports in the final match of this qualifier. Winner qualifies for the RMR. Loser has to try again in the third and final. I'm Boggs. He's Exner. This is EG versus BHOP. And first map is Inferno, picked by BHOP, and EG are just going to sprint down middle. And hopefully for EG, they can fix some of their woes that they had on their T side, or else this could be a pretty interesting map.
Already an interesting round, I'll give them that much here. Splitting the difference in towards this A side here, trying to meet in towards second mid, but not getting past Nealon's first line of defense. He even nails a third. And this round over before it ever lifted off, man. It's about as easy as it gets for Evil Geniuses. But like you said, man, this isn't the half that we were concerned about. It's that second half when we start to scratch our heads as to what exactly we're going to be getting out of this this EG team. But right now, well, as long as they can muster up a decent little defense, then they may not ever have to worry about that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, EG, if they can put another 11 rounds on the board, they should be fine, theoretically. I think BHOP have a little less firepower overall than Team 1, so
Yeah.
EG should be in for a smoother matchup than they were against Team 1. We'll see if they're going to be able to convert as easily as the theory would suggest. But right now, this should be a very easy round. Just clocks up against them, and they do lose one. That's actually kind of something you want to avoid. Automatic will get the eco ace, though. He'll take those stats to pad, and he'll take the frags, too. Always a bit of confidence, though. Doesn't matter what you get your ace against. It's going to give you some confidence.
Yeah, every time you click that tab, you can see your score line at 6-0 and say, hey, no matter how I got here, I'm playing quite well. So that's exactly what you want for Automatic right now, because he has been, so far, at least on the qualifiers, a real stud in terms of locking things down so far. So this start leaves a lot to be excited about here. See if they can continue to follow it up. Totally down towards Banana. Catching a little bit of flack here. Not too much to worry about at the end of the day, though. And now if you're BHOP, you're actually moving right past all of it. We'll see if they're actually prepped for the circus. Joined up and watch this position with the AWP. Not want to walk into his scope. Takes down Beaky with ease.
Bit of utility for Brett to toss in, but they're going to go on through this one. Hex going to be the first one to fall. Nice one from Breeze to follow it up. And the Molotov from Automatic will burn Eris alive. Automatic's coming over, and he spots the head over the hate cart and spams through the smoke. I think he had a gap, actually, as there's no smoke indicator on the kill feed. And Automatic just on fire right now. 3 kills after the ace, and 9 kills over the first 3 rounds, combining for a 3 kill per round average here in the early going. If he keeps this pace up, by the end of the first half, he will have 45 kills.
The first 40 bomb you would have gotten either this event. So
Yeah. Feel free to fact check my math, though. I'm not entirely sure I got that right.
Sounds times 15. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah,
As long
15,
as
30,
he keeps
45.
space. Yeah. You're gold.
No twice math here.
Not quite. I feel like that one slightly even more difficult than twice math. Believe it or not.
Just a tad.
But I don't know if he'll be able to maintain it. He is good, but a little tall task for him to grab, especially as his teammates so selfishly take the kills right away from him. A lot of damage actually being done, I will say, towards his A side, so some cause for concern. Nealon going down as well, man. Uh-oh. You got Breeze and Hex down very, very low here. So CeRq falling is even more scary. No way they can make a round out of this. Breeze going to take things back into his own hands, though, and Automatic is going to start to collect some of his sweet, sweet eeks. Swan around the corner is going to fall. Finally, it's not a 3K. It's only 2 for the guy.
So disappointed at him. Only 2 kills in the round. How dare he? How dare he only get 2 kills in the round and save the day? Awful. In all seriousness, though, 11-0 start for Automatic is amazing. And it's good to see him back in Counter-Strike here. Just a personal anecdote there. 221 ADR right now, as well as a 54% headshot. And He's going to be looking to continue this pressure onto BHOP, who do have a buy here. Swan does have the op and a bit of a utility, just the smoke left. And a good amount of utility overall for BHOP, but they're playing very passively towards Banana. They're really letting EG get all this control, and this could definitely be a big issue. That's a nice shot from CeRq onto Swan, and the nade following it up will go for no damage at all. Hex, though, might get a bit of chunk, as the Molotov's going to go through, and the nade is prepped as well. That'll just stall. His spam will connect onto nothing. BHOP playing a little scared, starting to probe up towards the A side a little bit late. Look how far Beaky is removed, too. He's all the way down in T-spawn still. Looks like he's almost trying to prep a smoke, but he hasn't gone through. Does Brett see the shadow? I think he might have seen the shadow through the smoke, and Neelan's going to get taken out. But look at the damage that's been taken by the BHOP side. Breeze is still here, as well as Automatic. Let's see if he can get back into that 3 kill per round average here into round number 5. All he needs is 4 kills. All he needs is 4 kills. It should be a breeze for him.
Get right back at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Breeze is going to be testing the waters here, starting to remove some of those. Utility being tossed over towards the B side here, going to look to reclaim CeRq's control. But, I mean, 30 seconds left. You're just taking so much damage at the moment, and you have nothing to work with here. They're going to have to maybe make a desperate slide in towards that A side, but there's still 2 players here. 20 seconds left on the clock. Not a lot of time left, and as Brett goes down, I think so do your chances at actually closing this round.
Yeah, and who's the man who gets him the kill? None other than Automatic. He's lined him up. He's spraying down, and he's picked up a 3rd. Is he actually going to have a... No, he's not. That actually is a little dangerous economically for EG at the end there. But still, 14 kills, 5 rounds into the game. He cannot be stopped right now. He is doing insane work, and really love to see how much he's doing for the squad right now. EG up 5-0. BHOP back on a weird buy where Beaky's forced up an AK. Everybody else is on Deagles and Tech 9s. A hero rifle for Beaky, and that's about all they have. Maybe he can squeak out something, but even the economic damage isn't going to be worth all that much at this point. A lineup for Automatic. Sprays down 1, knows where the next is coming from. He backs away, repositions, and the flashes from Neelan really supporting him well as he picks up 2. And it just seems it's Automatic's farm time again. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy for Tim, and BHOP are being bullied by one singular EG player at this moment in time.
16-1, man. We are 6 rounds deep, dude. What? I don't think I've ever seen this before in my life. This is so insane. Okay, Swan does shut him down, making things a bit awkward, but at the end of the day here, round potential to be converted. Playing around the smoke is actually Brett. Could extend this advantage into their favor here. Big HP gap, though, but another smoke to be retrieved. Tossing that underhand could be a big liability. Utility down. CeRq gonna grab an AK here first things first. And they've just got to pepper in a couple smoke spams. Surely looking to assemble a bit of a boost here, but it's tricky. CeRq gonna be sent above, and oh, Brett gonna take him down. Takes down both. A massive 4K from Brett. Facilitated by Swan with a 1D right there, so that's one way to win a first round right there, Brett. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice work from Brett there, coming up huge for BHOP as they crack open the goose egg despite the best efforts of Automatic and company. And because of the losses incurred by EG the round prior, they're going to be pretty broke as they come back into this round. They're going to have Hex on an MP9 just so we can get the utility. CeRq will have the op, but Automatic will have minimal utility if he buys a vest with this M4, which logically he should. And Neelan will probably also be on an MP9 or a shotgun or even a Deagle, something very light in terms of overall firepower. So things are going to get a little awkward here for EG in terms of this buy. But a timeout has been called, and it's lasting a bit. It might be a technical pause. We'll find out and see as we move on through here. So we'll figure out what's going to happen. No, it looks like it might have just been a tactical pause, presumably by EG after that, because that's one they will like to have back. And if they are able to respond back with it, it'll mean very good things for their string of rounds. Isolating the BHOP rounds is going to be very good for the CT side to get that very strong lead that they so desire.
Definitely one that they would like to have back, right? I mean, that was a 5v3 that they let slip through their fingertips, so a little less pretty than you'd like, but Automatic to open up proceedings here once again. 17-2, we're 7 rounds deep here, and this sidle aggression just not welcomed at all. Breeze got to find himself a big multi-kill. Look what they're left to do. Look at this round coming through. Silas has to clear out the underpass here to minute and 25 on the clock, man. Not how you really want to be working these, rounds so far. A minute 20 and your entirety of your teammates on a full buy have gone down. So like you said, kind of a goal here for EG is to just limit these rounds to one in a row, and you'll be golden. And that's exactly what they've been able to do.
And BHOP, surely they're not trying to save, right? We've been doing a lot of South America lately, and we've seen a lot of T-side saves on maps in South America. I don't think they're going for that. Neelan's kind of stuck in a hard place, though. He can't really get out of this. Ooh, Swan's burning down very low, and Hex is lucky to get out of there alive. Neelan strafes around the corner, gets out of dodge, and they're just going to shuffle the guns and play a little more passive angles. I like this play from EG, learning from mistakes made in the prior map against Team 1 and not overextending here. Good amount of utility for BHOP, and with all the time that's burned down, it actually wouldn't be a bad idea to save these guns at this point, because they have a good amount of utility. They have the op, which its usefulness and necessity on Inferno T side can definitely be argued. It's going to be a save from BHOP, and at this point in time, I don't hate that at all.
Pretty much the only option you really have left at the end of the day. So, like you said, man, no harm, no foul at all for EG camp, or rather BHOP camp, I will say. Like you also said, coming to this round with the players that save is still decent utility, so they're going to bring in a decent little buy-in to the mix. Not too bad at all. I just want to keep an eye on how out of hand automatic scoreline can actually get. I think they know he's playing like on what is such a insane level that they're actually setting him up to further his stat line. But right now he's actually throwing some utility for Neelan to toss down Banana here, and they walk down Banana with 0 resistance. Automatic can recycle his smoke down and maybe make his way back in towards that A side. Dry peeking in is less than ideal. CeRq will clean that one up. Nice tripwire shot from him.
Very nice shot to open things up. Brett's in a good spot, and he's not going to get taken out, but he's going to be forced away and be lucky to get out of this one alive. He goes for a repeat, though, and he gets punished by none other than Automatic, the man himself. Utility going to continue to fly on through. And we'll wait and see if anything special is going to happen here out of this round for BHOP, because their lone breadstick's getting a little lonely. And it is isolated right now, but Silas, that's a very good opening onto Neelan, who goes probing. That's going to open some space for the bomb to go towards B, but they're going to fall off. They have further rotation of CeRq, and it's a good decision, especially seeing how much room Swan has gained up towards lane. But look at Breeze on the flank. Breeze can get the backstab here. He can completely shut this down, especially if he bides his time right. If he doesn't shoot, he does, but he's got the second. I think he just panic sprayed in the low HP. Silas runs right into him. Breeze jumps up the stairwell. Beaky knows where he is, but he's not going to get by him. 7-1, another 7-1 scoreline in favor of EG on the CT side. Brilliant work there from Breeze, and Automatic at 18-2. We'll keep an eye on his scoreline. Breeze, we might have to keep an eye on too, as he's also getting there. He's only 7 shy of Automatic. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates combined have 7 kills. So Automatic literally has as many kills as the rest of his team combined.
Maybe that's a winning formula for EG. Maybe it's not, but for now, it's going to work wonderfully against a team like BHOP, right? He is just decimating the opposition. Run boost looks a bit silly right there. I don't even know if CeRq was able to pop a shot off either. Either way, they'll take that opening advantage right there very happily. In the meantime as well, you got to take a look at this. You got Beaky pushed up towards the top of Banana. So not a lot of information. You probably heard a little bit of that fall off as well from Neelan. So question marks are rising as to what exactly EG are going to do to try and recover this round.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Op's just sitting there tantalizingly for BHOP, and they have the potential to swing this one in their favor. They haven't yet gone for it, which is a very good thing. They don't need to overextend just yet. But it's going to get a little rougher here for EG, especially if they lose a second player on top of that. we're waiting to see if BHOP want to make a move. They have not fully committed to anything just yet. They're playing this one a little more pensively. But Eris has some halls control, brackets control fully given up. EG going for a 2-2 defense. Automatic has a lot of work to do here. Breeze as well. The two heaviest hitters on the EG side are here to stop this take. The utility's going to fly on through, and the swing's going to come in from Automatic. No, he's blind. Hext is making his way downtown as well. Swaps to the knife, but he spots across. Automatic good for one, but only one. Breeze has a spray, and he's going to try and double down. Yes, he does. Goes for more, but runs out of ammunition and HP. Bomb going to go down here in the nick of time as the two remaining BHOP players are very low on health. The nade will not commit any damage. The Molotov won't do anything either. And now Nealon and Hex have to clutch up here. The old heads and Automatic and Breeze. The vets. Hext could run into the op of Swan, but he's got the right angle. Swan, however, finishes off Nealon. Hext has to 1v2 this against players he's very familiar with his former side. Creeping forward. Every second that ticks down is going to mean better opportunities for BHOP and Eris. Nice headshot. Snaps that 7th into a second round on the board for BHOP. And they're able to win a round with not much in tow, and really because of that overextension from CeRq on the op out towards mid.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to put it, right? It all starts off pretty bad for EG in that round, right? You send CeRq out. I mean, again, I don't know if he got flashed off the eagle there. I didn't see it from his perspective, but he didn't even get a shot off right there, which oftentimes, you know, what's good about that run boost is you can beat the players to the punch, but he didn't do any of that, right? So it's a problem arising. I don't know. Again, it just seems so bizarre the way that they're actually catching them off guard. Like right there. Hex walking away with his knife out with no smoke at all, no presence. I mean, that's just wild stuff right there. Nonetheless, they look to recover in the 3-on-5, going for a gamble stack here at the moment is EG. Heavily stacking their presence towards this A side. Maybe it will work out, but again, it's just a gamble here, so it all depends on where BHOP look to finish. And they know exactly the position they put themselves. So all they have to do is post up, wait for re-aggression, and Automatic will give them it. Eris going to catch him just at the right time, and that advantage extends.
Yeah, and this is a save call from EG too. They can't give up these guns. They're broken. BHOP 3 rounds now. And a good chance for 4 or even more. They keep piling on rounds. It's going to get very, very scary for EG, who had a very tough time of getting rounds on the board on their T side. And there's a hunt too. A probe from Brett. A little bit of flame tick onto Nealon as well. But time is going to start ticking away. The bomb hasn't even gone down yet for BHOP. They're really burning down the clock here. And it makes me wonder if they're going to commit quite a few bodies on a hunt. Because surely they have to know EG aren't going to go for this retake. 2v4 retake on the A site is something that almost never happens these days. And no, they're just going to play it safe. It's good for their own economy, which isn't great, especially on Beaky and Silas. But more importantly, they're capitalizing on EG mistakes. And for BHOP, that's precisely what you need to do to get yourself back into this game. Get your engines going. And try and make EG stumble a little bit.
You can. I mean, again, like you said, it's all about giving yourself some cushion here on this G side versus this EG team that has kind of struggled. And if you're able to really, break that economy, which you've kind of just done, shut down Automatic, which is priority number 1, then man, I really think that this is going to be terrifying for Geniuses. I mean, you came into this map kind of thinking Inferno wasn't going to be an easy one at all for EG, despite what is a BHOP team that should be on paper a little bit weaker than what EG has to offer by quite a bit. So right now that they're slowing down on the CT side, now that Automatic isn't just kind of decimating, right? You got a lot of promise here.
And even more promising is that pick. Silas just goes around the half wall. Nealon got napping a little bit. Didn't have too much firepower either to work with. So opening pick goes the way of BHOP, because they should be able to get a second round in a row out of this one. Actually, would be a third round in a row. But one kill goes the way of Breeze at the very least. And he does have that AK. Maybe CeRq and Breeze will go for a little bit of exits here. CeRq's already rotating in towards CT spawn. Breeze is joining him a little late. At the very least, they look to be probing for the exit kills, waiting for them to run into it, which is a very interesting decision considering the CT economy. And CeRq is still hanging around at CT spawn. Breeze is like, no. I'm going to go save on the ace side. I don't want to lose my AK. You do you, bud, but okay, there we go. CeRq's going to fall back. That could have been dangerous, though, especially if he lost the op. That would have been big damage to the CT economy. They wouldn't have been able to have an op in the next round.
Yeah, that would have been brutal, right? Lucky that they're able to hold on to that. That is quite crucial. But again, it's not gonna. I mean, I guess you could definitely invest into this next one with Breeze holding on to this AK. CeRq could toss a gun over at the very worst to Nealon to give him utility on that B side, and they'll be golden to get some investments back out. But I don't know. It's weird to see Hex struggle on this team. Obviously, I think there was some. I wouldn't even say massive role differences between his old positions and new. Definitely some changes in terms of maybe the structure that he's dealing with from, playing in a team that he's played with for 4 years straight, at least a core. Maybe 4 years straight, 3 years guaranteed, I feel like, and versus playing with a new team, right? And making the step up. He's got a lot of differences. So I'm sure that's been a bit of a learning curve for the guy, but you're always cheering him on. Nealon, gonna dive above the smoke. That's great. Position, great flash to get out of dodge here. He's gonna go right back up, actually. I say get it out of dodge, but he wants a little bit more. He'll stick around and grab 2, but eventually does get traded out. Still, though, 2 players left on B side, man advantage maintained. Everything's looking a little bit better here, but could go south quickly. Oh, they've just lost both their players on B. That's very likely could be the round. Yeah, Eris is sticking around on the lurk. He finds himself 1, spots out the second, so 1-on-2 retake. Not ideal for Breeze. He doesn't even have a kit.
He's not going for this with the op in hand anyway. Well, he thought about going for an exit. He's shown the door instead. Swan wins that duel, and EG are in danger territory now. They needed that 11 round CT half against Team 1. They don't have that potential now. The best they can possibly get is 10, and they won't even have the buy for that here. BHOP at the very least going to get a 6th, at least very most likely. There's always the potential that the pistols can work for EG. We saw Breeze hit some nasty shots in that last game. The Mag 7's also in play. See if Nealon can go ahead and use the good old Ponalone special. One of his EG teammates. But right now, BHOP have really turned the tide here, and they've been able to scale off well, building momentum off of little mistakes here and there from EG, and now it's BHOP creating their own rounds instead of getting just exploitive picks and getting kills here and there. That's a good trade back by Beaky. Shotgun finds its 1 kill. It's kind of what it's supposed to do there. But the Deagle from automatic, well, that's a smart jump from Beaky. That gets him behind, unwatched, unobserved. And Audie's just going to pick up the mag and fall away. And just sit here wide in the open, waiting for the smoke to fade. Good decision by Swan, though, to get rid of the op. Take the rifles from this point forward. You got a lot of cash to get another one if you want it in the next round.
Yeah, especially knowing what you're up against here. Might not be able to offer up so much coverage, but still, I think this execute is going to be perfect to deal with automatic. They mollied him out, so nothing you can do there, right? It's decimated by the overwhelming presence here. The flank's going to activate a little bit too late. Well, Swan testing the waters here a little bit, gets flashed off. It should be quite golden. Swan's going to chase. He'll go down. There's another kill that takes place here on Banana. I'll start to sweat. They have Hex coming through as well. Towards the CT spawn side. Bomb has been planted. It's going to start to click that timer. CeRq needs to get this last kill, though he does. An equalizer here in the 2v2. Now they can start to make a case for pressuring. At least Hex can. He has no need to save. He only has armor and a pistol. Can invest in the next. Closing in as Hex gets taken care of. CeRq soon to follow. And BHOP now 1 off the tie. 1 off of mounting themselves a pretty solid T-side half here. And in a way that I wasn't sure we were going to see out of them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked too. I thought BHOP would be getting more of their rounds of the CT side, but they've already gotten 6. So They've been doing a very good job. They've been clawing rounds away. I think it all started, though, with that hero round from Brett. That's really what got them going, because before that, it was pretty dire for them. But they've been able to put some rounds on the board. They've been able to stack up some rounds now. They've already gotten to a very decent half, and it's to the point where if they get more, EG are in big trouble, and that's a great start. Nealon just keeps getting caught out. Silas is going to double down on the entry. The 3-stack on B yields not a kill, not a frag. Good amount of damage onto both Brett and Silas, but the damage isn't enough. Hex is going to eat that nade for brunch, be forced away by the flash. The bomb's going to go down, and BHOP can have a 5-man post on the B side. EG have a little bit of retake utility, a nade and a Molotov with a good amount of flashes, but at this point, if you're EG, do you even attempt this retake if this nade doesn't find anything? It does not. Just a little bit of damage. EG. Okay, that's a good one from Hex. That gives them a little bit of room to work with. But even then, time's not really on their side. And certainly, what's not on their side is the manpower.
That's Hex's second kill right there on the wall bang. But this is going to be a tied scoreline right now. I mean, that's a guarantee. Not a lot going on EG's side right now in the late half, man. Once automatic has slowed down, that's when the round counts have simply stopped for EG. Once he's stopped getting multi-kills of 3Ks or 4Ks, EG have not converted around since. That's bleak. That's really, really bleak right now for them, man. And the way that we see BHOP opening up these rounds is also terrifying for them. What is going on here? EG struggling on this CT side, and again, I don't want to say that we're gonna get the same caliber of defense out of BHOP CT side. I think more so the struggles for EG are on their end for their T side, right? This has always been a struggle for them, is to figure out what sort of identity they have on their T sides. So this is already lining up to be a pretty terrifying half for them if they cannot hit this last. Even still, it's already scary. Holding things steady is Hex, but it's good for one. The trades are very solid. Breeze is going to step up for an answer back, and that'll keep the man advantage their way.
There's a good trade back from Silas and automatic, but still the man advantage favoring EG now for once. It's been a long time since they've had an advantage like this to work with, but the B side is wide open. And if Nealon goes down to Silas, it is going to be completely, entirely open with no hope of rotation. As Silas can lock it all down. It's going to come down to a game of cat and mouse, though. Silas peeks the wrong way. And now what does Beaky do in a 1v3? He's going to sprint, but he's going to be heard. The noise is going to be heard by Nealon. He's going to make the rotation back. The bomb can definitely go down, but Beaky knows where Silas, or Nealon's rather, is coming from. And the Molotov will keep him at bay. The bomb can go down at the very least, and Beaky can try and get this 1v3 to work. It's not going to be the easiest task for him, and it starts with this opening duel towards Nealon, unless he goes and fights Banana. It's coming down to the timing, though. And he's going to be stuck in either side, stuck by a pin. He's going to make the right fight, though, against Breeze. That gives him an opportunity. He's got to reload, though. 5 rounds of ammunition. The nade's going to go in. It's not going to do any damage to him. And the HP on the BEG players is low. He taps away. He's got a chance! He stopped the bomb planter. There's still enough time. There's more than enough time. That was the check, right there with you.
Edge of my seat. As soon as I heard that beep, I was like, okay, they're good, but is that really how you want your round wins to be? Those 1v3s to be on the edge of your seat? Knowing that Beaky could have closed that out, man. BHOP putting up a great T half, especially with how things started, especially with how good automatic had been playing. All those being factors here. I mean, I feel like you call that one mission accomplished, and now you look to lock down this defense here, which I think they're certainly capable of doing.
Remember when this was 7-1?
Yes.
7-1 for EG at one point. 8-7 here and now. And what a recovery. What a recovery from BHOP. And this is where for EG, you don't want to lose a map in a best of 3, because then that basically brings it to a best of 1 for your opponent, right? And Ancient is their second map picked, which it's Ancient. It's not a best of 1, but it's a weird pick if you're EG. Why are you going in onto Ancient? Not too sure, to be honest with you.
You've already seen where that map can be scary in a best of 1. Picking into it also is equally scary, right? That guarantees you start on that T side.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It could be worrying. This kind of makes me think EG have to close out on this map here. Sure, it could be a punishment for BHOP, and sure, I mean, you could be feeling confident. I actually think that Nealon back on his previous team was a very good IGL on that map. So maybe that can come forward here, but just all out brawls, hoping to be taken here. And it works out wonderfully, man. 4 players just jumping up towards the middle. That's what they needed. That's the fire they need out of some of the supporting staff. That's what Hex can bring to the table right there, man. But so far, he has been limited. But he proves what he's capable of in this round.
I feel like you need to give Hex a little more freedom if you're EG. When he has freedom, he's usually a very impactful fragger. He has freedom in that round, and he goes and dominates BHOP. We'll see what he can do now with the MAC-10. EG, their T side against Team 1 last game was a very rough one. So they're going to need to do a little bit better now, or else BHOP are going to be taking that first map. It is their pick. It's a good pick. Nuke also comes in as the decider. So if you were watching yesterday, if you saw what happened to EG yesterday on Nuke, they got taken to overtime by Limitless. So if you're EG right now, 2 out of 3 maps have very recent poor memory. And ancient and unknown quantity. This is definitely a very peculiar veto for EG. And hopefully it doesn't come back to burn them.
Yeah, and I guess when we talk about the CG team, I almost think that vetoes shouldn't even be in the conversation, right?
Yep.
Like, it is it's a bit bizarre that that's a concern that we have for them. But I gotta give them some grace here somewhat. It is a new IGL slotting in, of course. That's gonna cause some complications, so that can be tricky to deal with. Speaking of tricky to deal with there, it's tricky to deal with 3 players waiting for that smoke to fade away. Mr. Brett, he'll go down quickly, and now the collapse in on A is coming. Maybe that was all a bait. Maybe that was to entice him into this A side, in which there's still a pretty hefty setup here.
Yeah, they're ready to defend this. The Deagles can definitely deal some damage at close range, but Breeze is going to be doing the first damage. Beaky and Aris, though, with a couple of kills, but it's all down to Silas on the outside looking in. The trades go the way of EG, and Breeze is the last one spamming through the smoke towards the library. Gets the last kill of the round, and gets BHOP, or rather gets EG up to 10. BHOP still sitting at 7, and they're not going to be able to buy up this time. EG should be able to grab 11 for free, unless something goes horribly wrong. But look at Breeze and Automatic. 22 kills for Breeze, 21 for Automatic. And then everybody else, a combined 20 kills.
That's not too pretty, to be honest. It's got to be a full team effort at this point, right? And again, Nealand, not known for being like a big fragging IGL, but this is definitely domain which you shouldn't be struggling to get kills, right?
No.
So a bit concerning for him. I mean, of course, CeRq with the op on the CT side, you'd have expected a lot out of him. He has been limited to nothing too crazy, and then Hex, of course. I mean, the guy who was a star player for so long here in ECL. So you know what he's capable of. They just haven't shown it here early. They're still holding on to a lead. So again, like I said, maybe this can't be a winning formula versus a roster like BHOP, but this is a qualifier for the major, right? This is the first step. A whole lot more after.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a qualifier for a qualifier. For a qualifier. Essentially. Because you want to make it to the top 16 at the bare minimum at the major.
Yes. Correct.
So it's essentially a qualifier for a qualifier for a qualifier.
Yes.
Yeah, you get stickers if you win the qualifier for the qualifier. I'm getting confused now. There's too many qualifiers. End of story.
Couldn't agree more.
You gotta win here. You gotta win another one. And that doesn't even get you into the top 16 of the major. Unless your goal is just stickers. You got a couple more rounds to go. I do like that combo, though, on Brett's A1S, the print stream with those hollows. It's a very nice combo, and that's a nice spray from Automatic. Just Trace and Swan down with a Galil. Pretty brutal way to die.
Not the best way to go out right there, man. Getting dropped early here. Looks like Evil Geniuses are able to get rid of their T-side woes. Silas going for a heroic play, diving through the smoke, but doesn't realize one's dove through the smoke of their own here. It's a reclaim of control from Brett, but they're very quickly losing numbers here. They've lurked out of apartments. One is dropped in towards pit, and Eris is going to go drop the bomb here. That's a big play from Eris. Maybe could be the tide turner. The last player's position is known. Eris has an inkling as to where Breeze is, but taking fights on 3 different fronts here. One wrapping in through bracket, one coming through mid, and one through lane. Not the prettiest of situations. Still, Eris stands tall. 20 seconds left. It almost is going to force a commit. Is there enough time for Hex? I think so. He seems confident. I'll trust his judgment.
Yeah, he's got it.
As he makes his way in towards the B-bomb site, I think Eris's chances at actually closing this round now become slim to none.
He's just got it, and he's planning for Audi, too. That's a good plan for Hext. Good read on the clock, too. And I don't think Eris is really contemplating going for this. He's just grabbing an AK. He's actually... No way he's actually going to try this. He tried it. Didn't work out, but he tried it. That's a bit of a shock. No reason to go for that. No HP in a 1v2 with no real utility. Save your gun, bud. Because they can't even get a full buy here. Having an AK would be so much better than just being on pistols right now. Imagine this buy up with the 5.7s, the Deagle, the PT50, and then an AK armor.
Yeah, I mean, that's where rounds like this can be scary. That's where, like, CT-sided Inferno can actually be, you know, it can make any round seem possible to win once you have those sort of buys, right? Because one AK finds a multi-kill and you can very quickly start to hold things down. Now, Hex has been sent in as a probe towards that B side, and while he'll be taken care of, they know that that A side is very open for the taking, free of charge. Thank you very much. EG plant the bomb here. Now, everyone starts to collapse here. Breeze looking to cut off rotations. Is heated up alongside automatic. Timing be of essence there, but not in Breeze's position. Holds it down very steady. Trying to get an AG down. Just get your gun out. It's scary they're playing with fire, but Breeze going to continue his kill count. Nice shot from Brett, at least to hold on to that AK here. Do a little bit of economic damage on your way out, but that'll be 13 locked in for EG. And now it looks like this is the EG that we should be getting out of them, right? It's no struggles. Yeah. They're finding openers. They're reading the defense quite nicely. And this is more along the lines of what we expected.
Yeah, this is a lot more what we expected from EG. They just got a little bit hamstrung by Team 1, I guess, but they're really starting to show their dominance here against BHOP now. And Nealon's starting to come alive a little bit more too. CeRq and Hex have been rather quiet, but Automatic and Breeze have done a huge amount of work for this squad. And there's a chance that at the very least one of those two can get a 30 bomb before the day is done here on Inferno. Map 1 of a best of 3 with Ancient waiting in the wings, folks. But right now, this is almost one of BHOP's last-ditch buys. They lose this round, they're not going to have too much money left to fight going up against potential 15. Nade goes down, 11 damage. That's not really what they were hoping for. CeRq steps in the fire, though. He looks for a peek, and none shall come forward. BHOP playing Testudo formation, just turtling up on site, not wanting to go anywhere. Not wanting to overextend, not wanting to extend at all, for that matter. And just tossing their utility right now. Hex does burn down a decent amount, so it's a decent amount of utility damage dealt by BHOP, but in the grand scheme of things, is it going to really matter at all? Because EG don't really seem too fussed about it. They're just rotating around and trying to find some space to exploit.
Here's the thing, what do you gain out of all that utility expended, though? Here's the issue when it comes down to throwing a smoke and a molly for the retake banana, is that it's called retake banana utility for a reason, right? And if you don't do it, that's going to be a lot of crucial deterrence utility on an execute that you won't have to bring to the table here. So once you do see EG start to line up towards this B side, complications can arise here. Swan has set himself up nicely. Will nail the shot. It's going to put all the pressure onto this B side defense, though. Now player's been spotted out. Molly gets tossed out here from Silas. That's great. Both players kind of realizing towards this position of CT spawn and locked out towards Coffins. Beaky with some desperation smoke spam, hoping for some success, but gets caught with a great position from CeRq, dodging the flashes and catching him off guard. Silas trying to dive his way through the smoke, but face to face with the opposition is going to drop as well. So numbers safely punched in, and a 3v3 post plant going to ensue with CeRq ready with the op, and post plant's looking pretty solid.
Post plant is looking good with the flashes, giving some space to BHOP. CeRq those swings around. Nice shot onto Brett. Eris is now in a 1v2 as Swan falls as well. Hext is low. CeRq at half. Eris can definitely win this. This is winnable for him, but he can't get by the op. The first test, he fails at the gate. And CeRq was thinking about a body shot. Just hits him with a good old tactical crouch instead. 2 rounds away now from EG taking this map. But we did see a 15-5 against Team 1 that ended at, what was it, 16-13? So not exactly what you would call safe territory yet for EG. I don't think I can I don't think I can breathe easy for EG until they actually have 16 rounds at this point.
Fair enough, right? But I do think that they've actually shown enough at least T-side eligibility to convince me that this is going to be closed out from them, right? I don't think there's going to be any massive woes that occur all of a sudden, because I think BHOP's defense not as sturdy and not as strong as what Team 1 brought to the table. And right there, I think the difference between winning and losing that round is maybe a simple set of utility for the 2 B defenders right there, and they just didn't have that extra. But at least you have a 1-for-1 trade. Breeze does find a kill towards long haul, but they don't realize that one player pushing down mid is going to drop the bomb. Brett looking to be the hero, turning the corner for another. This is lovely work, and now it's all on the back of CeRq here. Spotted out as well. Nice little jump spot from Beaky. And he's going to just join up with the rest of his teammates. Absolutely love that call, because all they need to do is hold on to this bomb. Sit on it like a goose egg. That's what they'll hold up and do.
And like I said, can't breathe easy for EG until they get 16. Because signs of danger are already happening for them, and they haven't even gotten to overtime guaranteed just yet. Like how BHOP aren't overextending this, so they're using a lot of utility just to make sure they don't die, because they don't have any money to work with. CeRq takes a shot, and Brett's done a little bit of damage. Another hero play coming in from Brett, too. He was the catalyst for their run in the last half. Could definitely help out with another run here. CeRq will attempt to hold on to the op, not donate that over into the hands of Swan. Beaky's going the long way around. Do they want to hunt this op? And CeRq hasn't heard him just yet. Beaky might have heard the footsteps too. CeRq's on site, very safe, and Swan's probing up. Will CeRq fall as the time ticks down? 1, 0, 1, 2. He'll be fine. No real hunt. Not worth the cost. But an 8th round for BHOP. It's a good sign. They could buy up decently as well. MP9 for Silas. Everybody else will have plenty of money. Utility. M4s. Op. AK save for Beaky. For EG. Maybe a little bit of deja vu coming back to him.
Yeah, fair enough, right? I mean, again, could start to be concerning if you see them slow down here. Yeah, I think they have shown some strength in the T side. Even in that last round, they found a couple of opening picks. It all came down to some heroics from Brett that really allowed them to actually activate in that one. But Swan able to kick off proceedings with a big opener right there. Finding the first of the round here and looking to continue that success forward here. Now you're starting to see a little bit of a stack towards this B-bomb side as well. They're drawing in Swan with his op, looking to keep him mobile as ever. Started off with an opening pick towards the B or A side. Now they're going to regress towards Anna, but flash around the corner could be so deadly. Oh, and it does come so perfectly timed. They start to lose numbers, and in transition, Beaky going to get spotted out, molly down, and certainly owned in upon here. There's the smoke departed as he swings out from New Box right into the jaws of CeRq. That will be very well the chances at winning this round. Right down the drain here. CeRq going to reposition in towards New Box with the op, and they're setting themselves in a very strong post lane. It's hard to get back if you're BHOP, but we'll see if Aris and Brett are up to the task here.
That's a good molly. The tick's been heard. Brett goes over, and he's put one in a body bag. CeRq is in towards New Box. Do they expect it? Aris clears out, and he's going to win the duel against the banana player automatic. He's done damage onto CeRq. They know where he is. 2v1. They can definitely win this. They're holding, they're praying, and they've got the spraying. They're going to get the defuse in time as well. BHOP are not done just yet. And, well, EG, do not ask for whom the bell tolls, because it might be tolling for thee. This is a collapse again from EG. At least they have money again. But boy, howdy, are they in trouble. And at this point,
man.
too, why do you keep getting the op on T side? It's not finding you space.
I mean, I feel like CeRq has been perfectly fine with actually some of the angles that he's been able to hold, right? He's been very solid with it.
But
But
there's
right
mostly
there, that
coming
post plant.
plants.
Yeah, I mean, he has been finding a couple of nice entries with it, though, too. And when it comes down to executes, he's been holding the right angles. I think just a little bit of ugliness on the post plants in some of these rounds here. A little Halls pop trying to actually get into a post plant, but Eris is steady as ever on the anchor here. Swan trying to dive above the smoke. He gets pressured off the line, though, and now looking to swing the tides in their favor. Flash to keep him off. Will force him off this moto position, but all the rotations in line here coming through from the rest of BHOP. They're all going to join forces, tripling up, and see if they can hold steady.
No plant just yet. Molotovs are here. And they're going to go in and try and stop this one. They're going to stop the bomb plant. A spray down from Beaky, and then Silas with a headshot. 10 rounds now to BHOP, and 4 rounds the gap between these two. And EG's top-heavy fragging line starting to look like an anchor these days, as it's really been Hext and CeRq and Nealon who have been on the scoreboard in the last several rounds. Automatic and Breeze have fallen quiet. In the meantime, BHOP just keep plugging away. One player getting a kill here, one player getting a kill there. And they're starting to get some work done. It's a pistol buy-up for EG2, some Deagles, a Glock, a Tech 9, a vest on Hex, and a couple of flashbangs. Pretty pitiful buy-up in the end of things. And they're going to probe up towards B, playing this very slow again. And it seems that EG struggle to close out this map. It seems like CT sides are very easily adaptable to how EG are playing. Because it doesn't seem like they move around too much. They don't change from their game plan on this T side right now. They haven't done that going back to the previous map of Inferno against Team 1 as well. It's been very much the same stock standard plays almost every single round. And the closer they get to the end, the more it seems that they're readable.
I mean, that's a pretty accurate assessment to what actually we're getting out of this EG team here. It seems like, you know, I guess more so once the individuals slow down, that they can't seem to find the same axis, same entries that they once were. Another pulse pop, but it's another round where they are just so well prepped for it. Breeze doesn't nail the Deagle shots like he was in the last map, and Brett's just going to mop up himself 2 freebie kills here, looking for more around the corner, and it will come. 3K in the round, 2 more to go, and Hex and CeRq almost certainly nothing they can say. Silas to attempt to finish the job here. CeRq gets smoked off. He knows that certain death is all that lies around the corner, so he'll reroute, take a different approach. As he peeks in towards Porch, he'll fall just the same as the rest of his team. There's 11. The distance now closing to 3, and this is where BHOP start to make their case for coming back. It'll be another investment, but I think if they can win this one, even if it requires OT, BHOP are definitely heating up into Inferno.
Yeah, BHOP are starting to look real good here. I don't know how they'll do on Ancient. That's a question mark in my mind for both sides. But if they're able to get some serious damage, and they've already made EG bleed a little bit, but if they're really able to do some damage to EG, take this one deep, take it to overtime, and, well, even if they're able to win it especially, this whole series gets ripped right open. Because Ancient, we talked about it a little bit, it's very much dependent on how much you can get done on your CT side. And when it comes down to starting on the CT side, that's a big boost. Hext goes through the fire. Silas swings out, connects the shot, and done a little bit more damage onto CeRq, who is bottom banana. But that's already a good pick for BHOP. Silas is just going to back away, taking all that damage. But they've got the man advantage, and they put EG behind the 8-ball yet again. Trying to continue and just mount up the pressure on the EG side.
Man.
That's a nasty shot from Nealon, though. But in the meantime, Breeze has fallen. But the B side is opened, and Silas is not going to get here in time to stop this push. His spray, though, does so much damage, and he does not connect the final blow. But this is going to give BHOP a leg to stand on the retake. A nade is there for Eris, and as the bomb goes down, they're going to have the rotations going back.
Yeah, they're really careful about a lurk, and fair enough right now. That's not the case. There's no lurking players here for EG, so once they start to realize that, they need to start making their way quickly in for this retake. Great utility thrown from Automatic, who still has a molly left to play in as well. They're buckling down these post plants much better, and that's going to buy them valuable time here. Automatic starting to make some moves, especially with that molly, and time of essence now. BHOP, they need to make a move on this retake. CeRq, getting blinded up by that flash is so valuable. They're starting to close in, but immediately hitting the wall of CeRq. He will find one kill. He needs to find a whole lot more. Successful retake. Oh, but neither one have a kit. Oh no, Eris had one.
Eris had a kit. He had the defuse, and they're both dead.
He started the defuse off. What happened?
I think he thought he didn't have time, but with the bomb radius now, it's not even worth popping off. You stick it and go down with the ship, and hey, if you win, you win. That.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was.
I think he might have
not, but I thought he initially started the defuse, right? And then he got off of it, and then his teammate got on it, and I think that slight miscommunication bought just enough time for EG to actually close that round. That is such a heartbreaker for BHOP, because every step of the way, I think they were really, really pulling through a decent little retake right there. And again, just coordinating so perfectly.
Yeah, good work there for BHOP to try and get that one done. They just couldn't in the end. A little unfortunate. For EG, they're lucky to get away with that round. That's a gift from BHOP, their first big mistake in a while. And it couldn't come at a more timelier time for EG to give themselves a chance to take this map, because at that point in time, it looked like BHOP were going to have a very good shot at taking this map. It is their pick, but they are the heavy underdogs right now. So, for EG, they're going to take what they can get, and BHOP, they can't afford to lose another round. But hey, if Team 1 could get 8 rounds in a row, maybe BHOP can get 4. They only need half.
Yeah. A bit easier there so far, but starting to lose numbers there quickly. Oh no, a double entry on that A side. Make it even worse. Breeze just shutting things down, and maybe shutting down the dreams of this comeback a little bit early. Way earlier than Team 1 here, as they start to try and reclaim some of this ground. They're still going to have to bypass CeRq. He's got all of arches. He's going to start to turn his attention, but best case scenario, you push through a smoke right now into CeRq, and that is not pretty. Spots absolutely nothing, though, inside of it. They waited out. CeRq's going to be able to dive around the corner in time, and this retake, we know how those go on the A side here. Very, very difficult. First line is CeRq. Spots the shadow. Doesn't matter. Still a shot landed by Silas, but time is seriously ticking very far back into this one. Breeze taking a lot of damage here from the utility. Actually, it might even burn. Still, though, in the meantime, he's going to find the kill on his way out. Beaky finds the first. Hex now left into the 1v1. Smoke on top of the bomb. Hex spots him out. Is there enough time? Oh, no, he gets spammed on instead. Hex saves the day right there for EG, and they slide past, but narrowly, this opening map from BHOP.
Yeah, they slide past. It's a good way to put it. It's like sliding under the closing door in an adventure movie. Like Indiana Jones getting out of the boulder. That's a narrow escape for EG again. Back-to-back, very narrow victories on Inferno, once against Team 1 and here against BHOP. And going into Ancient, it's an unknown quantity. Neither team has really played it at all, so